So we are here at the Blue Wire Studios at Wynn, Las Vegas. My name is EJ with Gryffin.
What's up, man?
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great. Now that you're here, talk to me. What's happening?
Here doing a big show for EDC week. Obviously, it's a big weekend here in Vegas. So got a big show here tonight and ready to rip it.
How do you prepare for a show like that?
I mean, I'm always like tweaking the sets, trying to come up with new edits and make the show as dynamic as possible. But yeah, it's like I come to Vegas fairly often enough, so it's fun to like always change it up and kind of try some new things. Tonight's actually a very new thing. I'm gonna bring out my guitar for the first time.
Oh, really?
For a Vegas show. Yeah, so I play guitar and piano during a lot of my headline shows, but I've never done it here in Vegas for my residency. So tonight's the first time I do that. So I'm actually pretty pumped about that.
So you know what that means?
What's that mean?
That we have to be at the show so we can see this.
Oh, of course. I thought that was already happening.
Come on. What time do you go on?
That is the tough part. We're on at 1:30.
Oh well. I'll be there in spirit.
No. You can't back out now. You've come too far.
1:30. That's the one thing about Vegas. I feel like time doesn't necessarily matter here.
It's kind of like a vortex. You just like you get into the casinos and just like sucks you in with the bright lights, and you just lose all concept of time and everything.
How does it feel to actually play in Vegas? Because I feel like it would be so much different than actual like other crowds, if that makes sense.
It is different for sure because it's the Vegas. The energy is very different. Everybody's like, full sending it all weekend long. It's late nights, but it's fun though because it gives you kind of something different. There's really only a few cities I feel like in the U.S. that have this sort of like all night party, have fun culture to it, and Vegas is probably the top at it. So it's always a good time.
Are you ever in your head before a set or no?
What do you mean? Like, is it gonna go well? Kind of in my head, of course. Yeah, I mean,
really?
Yeah, I mean, like I feel confident in the music in the show, but like, you talk to any artist if they're being real with you. Like, everybody has bad shows, so you always like want to do your best. So I always like I can get in my head, but other times, if I know it's gonna be a big night or for a big headline show and it's been like sold out for weeks or something like that, then I'm always a little more confident maybe than others, but always want to do well, so I'm always trying to bring my A game and whatnot.
So for that rare time that you do have a bad show, which is probably bad to you, I feel like regular people wouldn't necessarily feel like it's bad, right?
That is one thing that's true because I feel like artists are a lot harder on themselves. Like I'll have gone off stage for like a festival or something and be like, I just bombed that was terrible, and then for years I'll have fans be like, I discovered you at this show, like, and I've been following you ever since. So I was like, oh, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought. But sometimes, it's I'm my own worst critic, I guess. So
how do you recover from that?
I mean, just kind of evaluate like what went right, what felt like didn't hit as well. I mean, DJs and you're always trying new stuff. You always want to change the sets. You always want to try new edits, playing new music. And sometimes, it doesn't quite hit or you still need to tweak some stuff. And other times you think it's like going to do okay. And you're like, oh, damn, that was huge. So yeah, it's always like fun because you just never really know how the crowd's going to react sometimes to stuff. You can get a good idea, but sometimes you get a surprise out there.
Can we just take a second just to acknowledge this? Like this, look at all of this. Like everybody.
I love that. Just spectating.
Is there an outside cam out there or no? Because everybody's just like stopping by and saying hi.
They're like getting out of a conference of some sort.
What conference is that?
The world works with ServiceNow.
ServiceNow.
A service conference.
Did we just give them a plug? Oh, there's an outside cam. Can we do that one more time?
Oh, there they are.
Look at that.
There they are.
Man, I'm feeling really Good Morning America right now. Look at that. Hi.
Hello.
Where do you live?
I split time. So I'm in LA, I'm in Venice, and then I recently, in 2020, I bought a place out in Palm Springs. So I've been living the golfing retired life sometimes during the weeks, which has been actually amazing as someone that's always on the road and staying up late, moving around all the time, and my life is so chaotic that coming back to Palm Springs and just having it be super peaceful and me playing some golf during the week. It's like the perfect counter to like my crazy weekends.
Can I just say the air, the heat feels so good in Palm Springs when you're just like out there chilling, maybe by the pool.
It is
you know what
nice.
I'm saying?
It hits. It's pretty brutal in the summer though, I will say. It gets like 110, 115.
It's like out here.
Yeah, it's like out here. It's probably a little bit worse, to be honest. A little hotter. But it's a vibe. It's like really chills me out there. I got a studio out there now, so it works for me.
What made you want to get that change into your life?
Well, I mean, the pandemic happened in 2020. I basically didn't know what was going to happen for my career and whatnot, and I wasn't doing shows, and we ended up. I'd come out to the desert a few times for Coachella, just playing it and just as a fan, and loved the desert. And then we rented a place for a couple months when things were getting pretty nutty with everything in isolation, and just fell in love with it. It was like after the 2 months out there in Palm Springs, I was like, "F it, I'm gonna get a place," and haven't looked back. And it's been amazing, honestly.
Are you someone that sleeps well?
I sleep pretty well. I can't sleep upright though. I'm not one like I can't sit if like the plane is upright and I can't recline like all the way back. I'm screwed. But I can sleep like if I need to take like a 20-minute nap in the hotel or something like that, I'm chilling. But if I have to sleep upright, I just cannot figure it out.
Listen, I'm bougie, so if I'm on a plane, I needed to at least recline
right?
180? No, not 180. What's
180 is flat, but like if it's like 130, something like that, I feel like that's pretty good.
So yeah, because that's the only time I can like sleep on a plane.
Same.
When it's like completely lie flat.
Same.
I feel like you spend most of your time like late, being as though you're doing your thing here at 1:30. You move around. Are you someone that moves around a lot at night?
I mean, like when I'm sleeping?
No, just like
just moving. Yeah, I mean, it's late. Yeah, it's late. I mean, I'm like, I'm doing tonight 1:30 to 3:30, and then I'm flying to Alabama for a show during the day, and then I go to Miami tomorrow night, and I'm on from 1 to 3:30 there too. So back-to-back nights.
You're doing Ultra too, right?
We did it, last month. Yeah.
How was it being back after 6 years?
It was amazing. I mean, I hadn't done it in so long. I didn't realize it's been that long. And coming back, being able to do main stage was crazy. It was such an awesome experience, and I love that they moved it back to the Bayfront Park, which is like right in the city. Huge vibe and just so much energy, and the stage is so big and massive, and it was really fun. I can't wait to go back.
Well, how important is it to play the main stage?
I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't know if it's how important it is, but it's like it's a big opportunity for sure. I mean, you're playing in front of a ton of people, get this huge production, SFX and whatnot. So it's I think any stage, anytime you're playing Ultra, it's like an honor to do it. But main stage, particularly awesome. So yeah, it was really cool.
How does one go about getting a residency at the Wynn?
How does one go about? I mean,
basically, how did they approach you to do this?
Yeah, I mean, I had just been, building up, doing a lot of shows, and they approached me, the buyers and whatnot of Wynn Nightlife, and they gave me like a trial run for a little bit, and I like did some shows early in 2020 before the pandemic, and they were like, yeah, like we like it, like we should try and do some more stuff, and then everything opened back up in 2021 and just went kind of bonkers from there. But yeah, you just kind of get approached by the teams. They're always like scouting like who's doing good things, and get them out in the rooms to test the water, see how they vibe with the crowd and whatnot. And yeah, it's been great. I absolutely love it here. It's the best place on the Strip, and the shows are always amazing.
When you get approached or got approached, what's your initial reaction for it?
It was awesome. I mean, it was very different because Vegas is a different beast from my headline shows and festival sets that I do. Just because it's a more like transient crowd. People are coming in for the weekends. Not necessarily all of them know who I am, or they're like huge super fans, like at a headline show. So it's a different beast in that regard, but it's an opportunity to be in front of a lot of new people because people are coming in and out all the time. I've met so many interesting people just playing here at the Wynn, just backstage or at the booths, and it's been a crazy networking thing, honestly, just because you just every weekend there's a whole new slew of people that come in that are from interesting places. So it's been an awesome experience for sure, and I'm loving it.
It's really interesting because my thing would be, man, I'm tied down to a place now. You know what I mean? Like you
I
can't
guess.
travel and do, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I mean, there is obviously like a commitment involved, but
I just have commitment issues. Sorry.
yeah, no, it's we all kind of do, so it's all good. But I mean, being in LA and Palm Springs really helps too. I
Hmm.
mean, because I talked to some of the guys that are home based in Europe, and they talk about their residency here in Vegas, and not that they don't like it, but they're like, it's so far,
Hmm.
But for me being LA, Palm Springs, it's like an hour flight, unless I'm coming in from like a different festival or something like that, or show, which does happen. But having it be so close to my home makes it really, really nice and convenient.
Yeah, I don't think people understand that it's literally coming across the hill. Like you're coming over the hill
Yeah, it's
when you're
like a
coming from LA to
20-minute flight.
right.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Do me a favor and tell me about Oceans.
Oceans, yeah, it's a new record with this girl Kid Joy. She's like a young up and coming, super talented singer and an incredible voice. Super pumped on the track. Yeah, it's like a fun, feel good dance summer anthem. So it's been fun. We got to premiere it and put it out around the F1 last weekend or 2 weekends ago, which was a really fun experience. Did this huge got to meet all the F1 drivers and stuff, and got to go behind in the paddock and check it all out, which was really cool.
When you're working on a song, are you just constantly working and working and working, or you're someone that's like maybe you started, come back to it, work on it some more, come back to it?
That's actually a really good question. Sometimes it happens so fast, and the song is done in like 3 or 4 hours,
Uh-huh.
and I'll go back to it and listen to it and be like, wow, I'm loving everything about this. Like maybe I'll tweak a few things here and there, but like for the most part, I'll be like 95% of this is done. And then other times I'll come back, I'll like an idea, but I'm not like loving what I did with the production or not loving certain things about it. And then I'll work on it, chip away at it, put away, come back to it 2 weeks later. And then like all of a sudden, like it takes 6 months to finish that record.
Hmm.
So it all depends. Every song has its own unique journey, honestly, from start to finish. Sometimes it happens very quickly, and sometimes you got to just kind of work at it. And yeah, it's just kind of how it is.
What do you feel like the most frustrating part is when it comes to putting together a song?
Knowing when to release it to
Really?
maybe. Yeah, I mean, it's because I feel like you can never really, I don't know, like sometimes you can mull over like some melody of the song or the drop part or some sound or kick drum or bass or something like that. You're always like thinking about how can I make this better? How can I make this better? And sometimes you just gotta like know when it's good enough and when you feel confident about it to then just like release it into the wild. That's one of like the challenges I feel like for me personally is to know when to be like, all right, I'm letting go of this thing, like throwing it out there into the ether.
That's interesting because I think this is the number one reason why I can't, not necessarily why I can't stand social media, but putting videos up on social media, right? Because
Mhm.
I'll put something out and I'm like, God, I look ridiculous in this, or God, I could have did this differently, or God, are you ever like that when it comes to a song, right? You put the song out
Mhm.
and then you hear it on a radio, or you just hear it driving around in your car, and are you like, dang it, I should have did this, or I should have did
This is
that?
so funny that you say that because I do that and my wife just is like she gets so irked by it. She's like, it's
Absolutely.
so small. Why are you being like that? I'm like, I know, but like that SFX is like too loud right there in the song. I'll be like, man, I feel like I bumped that kick drum. It's too much in that frequency range. Like I actually still think about stuff like that. But what's funny is like I feel like a lot of producers can probably relate is the minute when you're like about to put out a song,
Uh-huh.
sometimes you're just like, is this even good anymore? Like, I don't even know how I feel about it because you've listened to it
Over and over and over and
5,000
over again.
times and you're
Right.
just listening to the same loop and like getting it right and right. But then it takes like perspective where either like the fan feedback is good or like it's doing well on streaming or like that kind of stuff can almost like influence your decision too, like post release, like, oh yeah, it was good. Yeah, it is good. People are liking it. But it always takes me like a year or two to kind of get over some of the mix issues. And then I'll be like, actually, it's all right. I'm still cool with it.
So I feel like there has to be somebody that you probably listen to, like your wife.
Yeah.
She says, all right, dude, I don't know what you're talking about. This is great. Do you have a team of people that you run things by?
Oh yeah.
That
100%
will be like, this is fine. What are you doing?
100%. Oh yeah. I rely on my team for a lot of like honest feedback. And if I feel like it's not honest, I'm like, I don't know. You got to be real with me. Like, I don't know if I can rely on you for advice if you're not being honest with me.
For example.
Well, like an example of it?
Yes.
Oh, I mean, just like if someone's like, yeah, that's great. Like it sounds nice or something like that, where I'm just like, is it though? Or are you just being nice to me about it?
Now,
like I need the real feedback from you.
Do you think they're doing that? Why do you feel like that they're saying that it's great, it's cool? Blah,
Maybe
blah, blah.
I'm in like a bad mood for some reason, or they're like, oh, he's like, I don't want to upset him or something like that. So I like being around people that are going to be super real with me, because that's what I need. I need people to be honest with me and real with me, not just like saying yes, because that's, yeah.
I just have a hard time hurting people's feelings because I feel like that I would.
But it's coming from a genuine place, though. I feel. Well, I mean, you don't want to like. You
no.
don't want to be like malicious about
right.
it.
That's what I was gonna
but
say.
Like
There's
it's
no
the
malicious intent.
Yeah, it's like the honesty, being like, I want what's best for you in this project. Those are the people I like surrounding myself with.
So if someone says to you, "Okay, this song could have been better. The sound effect could have went here." Do you listen or do you go back in this? Do you listen or do you not listen?
I'll probably listen to it, and then I'll be like. I'll listen to it and evaluate for a little bit. Be like, is this actually good feedback, or is this not something I should be worried about or bothered by? But I do listen to feedback for sure. Yeah.
I feel like that's what I guess essentially makes you better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I mean, sometimes I'll be like, I'll evaluate someone's feedback or whatever, and be like, I don't know if I necessarily agree, but I always listen to it and ingest it and think about it a little bit.
Okay. I want to know, as a DJ, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you label 5 pet peeves that people do when you're working that drive you up the wall?
5 pet peeves that people... When
Even
I'm working in the
right.
studio?
Well, no,
or
when you're just like doing your thing on stage, right?
Oh. I don't really get that bothered by stuff like that, but...
The requests.
So the requests can be like... Sometimes it's fine. Sometimes it's like a little annoying it's okay if they request once, and I can like I'll do it. But then if they start requesting like the entire show, I'm like, all right, y'all, I've already given you like 2 or 3 of these.
What do you want from me?
Like,
right.
Let me just craft my set just for you in the crowd. That's honestly like really the only thing that would bug me, other than like if someone was like drunkenly bumping into me. Or like spilling stuff on me, then that would be like, all right, this person's got to go.
Do you ever think about how, because I do all the time, how the DJ is literally Geppetto and we're all Pinocchio?
Yeah. I never really thought about it like that, but...
You're the puppeteer and we're all Pinocchio because you're like supplying the music.
Right.
And the soundtrack to everything that's going on.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I never thought about it like that, but I see you on that.
I mean, you're controlling all of these people's feel. Like
it is weird.
Right.
To think about. I'm gonna think about that during tonight's show now.
At 1:30.
At 1:30, I'll see you there.
I may have to come through because you're playing a guitar. This is the first time you're doing
First
it.
time.
I know.
You got to rally.
That means I gotta look at him.
He's like yes. He's right.
But fine. We're the same age too, so I feel like if you can do it, I can do it.
Exactly.
Keep
each other young.
Okay, we got that.
Let's go.
What is next for you?
Next, just a lot of touring, honestly, for the summer. I'm working on a bunch of new music also. I'm now building up a lot of new music in the studio, and then this summer I'm going to be doing a lot of U.S. touring. I've got some headline shows on the East Coast next month, and then playing a bunch of festivals. And then I'll be going to Europe and Asia a lot this summer. which will be really fun because I haven't done extensive touring like that out there for a minute. So it'll be really, really fun. And I got some big shows. I just announced my double Red Rocks later this year, and got some other really big shows coming up, which will be fun. And gonna start putting together a lot of new music or start releasing a lot of new music in the summer. So
Nice.
yeah.
So it's 8:33 right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
The show is 5 hours away.
5 hours away.
What are you doing between that time?
I was talking about it with my tour manager. I don't know. Like I don't know if I'm gonna nap because I have a 4:30 flight to Alabama after the set tonight because I got to make it in time for Hangout Music Festival.
Oh, that's this weekend too?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm playing tomorrow at sunset.
So will you even go to sleep after?
That's the thing. Yes, at some point. But I don't know if I'm trying to just stay awake now so I can try and sleep on this plane overnight, or if I just take a nap now and get some rest and then just shut my eyes on the plane. And
I think you take a nap now, do your thing at 1:30,
yeah.
rally to the airport, and then you can sleep on the plane.
Yeah. The nap is probably the call because I'm not going to sleep because I go straight to Miami too.
Right.
And then that's another late night. So I probably should just get sleep whenever I can.
Listen, I'm your life coach now.
I like it. Good sound advice.
I'm here for you. I will see you at 1:30.
Yes.
Thank you so much for stopping by.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great.
Of course. And clear.
Nice.
Thank you.
That was fun.
1:30.
I know.